Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.
Welcome to the Tackle Trading Market Recap video for Monday, November 16th. And before we get started, just a moment to say that my thoughts and prayers and best wishes goes out to the victims of that heinous terrorist attack that happened in Paris last Friday night. Hopefully everything gets going a little bit more smoothly over there. And, to my friends in Europe, my thoughts are with you as well. Now, on to the market recap video. Obviously a huge day in the market today. And, it's a little bit of twofold that I'm seeing here. Number one, there was a lot of people, and I got asked this question quite a few times in either emails or text messages or social media or whatnot, is, how I thought that the terrorist attacks would impact the financial markets on Monday. And I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and the markets. This isn't the first time that we've had to deal with unprecedented terrorist attacks. It's just unfortunately it's something that we as a society must deal with, and and from a financial markets perspective, I think they're I don't want to say they're used to it or accustomed to, because I don't think that's the proper terminology, but at the same time, it's not the first time they've dealt with terrorist attacks around the world and the impact on the financial markets. And for me, I was glad to see the markets rally in despite the fact that just from an emotional political type scenario, I was glad to see the markets rally today off, despite the fact that there was some ungodly news coming out of last Friday in Paris. So in looking at it, and no, I do not think that had anything to do with it today, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it was more of a technical rally. It wasn't done on large volume. It was about, I would say, 10% less volume today than you normally have had over the last 20 days. But at the same time, it just emotionally, I was glad that the market rallied. Now, in terms of just your pure technical analysis here, this is a bullish uptrend. We've been talking about it for quite some time on the daily charts. And as you can see, the market comes back down 3% last week, back down into support. And I talked about this last week where I thought it was overextended at the resistance level and would like a retracement back down into that 2000 level. And that's exactly what we came down into today. In fact, if you drop this down into a 15-minute chart and just kind of see, the very, very bottom of the price, this is the opening price last Sunday, yesterday when the markets opened up on Sunday. And as you can see, it come down and just literally just ticked at 1998 before you just had a nice little trend continue to go up. This is the cash open right here, and as you can see, the cash open, real big movement on the cash open before it had a slight retracement, and then it just, I don't even want to say it faded up the rest of the day. It rallied very strong for the rest of the day, moving from 2020 all the way up to 2050, where it closed today at right about 2050, and a really, really, really positive movement in the marketplace. Coming back to the daily chart here, I do see this as a bullish retracement, as a possible buying opportunity. It is at support. It is, if you look at just kind of the percentage retracement that we've had since the last movement, you're talking it's close to a 38 to 50% retracement that it had in off the prior movement that it had in October. And so that's a solid retracement coming back down into support with a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. That should continue to move up. Obviously, it's going to be a little data. But at the same time, based on probabilities, this should continue to go up. I'd be surprised if it doesn't continue to drive up. We don't have a tremendous amount of economic news coming out this week in the marketplace. If we'll go over here to Tackle Trading real quick, go to Tackle Trading. Let's hit the menu button there. And let's go we're going to look at a couple different things here. The first thing we're going to look at is in the Trade Center icon right underneath Tools. First thing we're going to look at is the Forex calendar, and that's going to take us out to forexfactory.com. And let's go look at some of the economic news just coming out of the United States. So I'm going to look at the U.S. dollar here, look at the major and the medium impact things. Today we had the Empire Manufacturing Index come down to -10. That was a negative reading. No, it's not that. That is not that important of a manufacturing index. If you're looking at some of the other manufacturing indexes, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing coming out later on this week is much more important. We got CPI report. That's an inflationary report coming out on Tuesday. That's going to be closely watched by the Fed as well as the rest of the market. And then the big one I think this week is the FOMC meeting minutes. We are right now in the middle, waiting for the next time for the Fed to meet, and getting a nice little read on where the Fed is and what they're doing. It's going to help us understand exactly what they're going to be looking at in the future regarding interest rates. The current probability of an interest rate increase in December is tracking right around 65 to 70%. I'm not there yet, and I've said that for a while. I want to see more data. I want to see more data in terms of the unemployment report coming out next month. We still got another 3-4 weeks of economic reports that we need to look at to see what is the status of the economy coming into that Fed meeting. And I still don't think that the Fed wants to raise in terms of what they've been doing over the last 9-10 years. The Japanese are going to be looking at doing further quantitative easing. You have the Mario Draghi out of the ECB that is dead set on doing further quantitative easing. And I think there's a lot of ways to go, even though it's only a month away. There's a lot of ways to go until we see what the information is coming into December on exactly where the Fed is. So I would like to see those meeting minutes, see if there's any indication one way or the other. So we have a little bit of economic news this week, but I don't think there's anything out there that's going to just rock the market from an economic standpoint. Earnings season is practically over. This is going to be a news-driven market this week, kind of a little bit random. And when that's the case, I trust my technicals. You never know exactly what the future holds, but when it's news-driven, you trust the technical analysis. And what I've seen, typically speaking, is when the market is out of support, all things being relatively equal, it's going to buy on the economic news. And all things being equal, if it's at resistance, it's going to sell on the economic news. So we are at support here, upward movement in price. That read on the market should mean it's going to continue to go. Now, in specifically the stock market, your leading sector today, energy, had a really good day. Crude oil had initial fear downwards. If you see it's how it kind of tested down, but it had a real good move back up on the French strikes into Syria. That kind of drove it up a little bit. OPEC cutting barrels a little bit, move it up. I expect oil to come up and test 43, 44 area over the next foreseeable future. The dollar index driving up. Oil went up today. The dollar index went up today. The dollar index driving up, sitting at resistance right now. Did the Forex report earlier today. I expect that to tick up this week, especially against three currencies: the yen, the pound, and the euro. And if I expect the dollar to perform well against the yen, the pound, and the euro, then obviously I think the dollar index is going to go up there as well. Looking at gold is kind of basing down. Talked about this could be a buying opportunity last week in the market recap. I still feel that today. Same thing with silver, really kind of just basing down here at the very, very bottom. It's been a huge move to the downside for silver and gold. I do not see that continuing. I'm not expecting a huge upward movement in price, but if you're looking to pick up silver at cheap prices right now and hold it for the foreseeable future, you can do far worse than where silver is right now in relationship to silver and gold. Other news today: Warren Buffett. Everybody loves Grandpa Buffett. Warren Buffett. He made the claim, despite what happened in Paris, he is not selling. That did not apply to Goldman Sachs, though, because he definitely sold Goldman Sachs, reduced his position size in Goldman Sachs. Some of the stocks in the news, based on a little bit, ExxonMobil up over 3% today, up 3.52%. I love ExxonMobil here off the retracement here. Also Chevron Chevron today, CVX Corp, Chevron today, real good price movement. I like Exxon a little bit better, but they're very, very simple. And also some of the travel industries, some of the touristy type stocks got a little hit today as to be expected. And then the airlines also kind of went down, gap down. American Airlines down 1.43%. This is not a buying opportunity. Delta Airlines down 2.16%. Interesting enough, though, gap down right into a known support level. Watch this. I do like the hammer type candle. That looks like Thor's hammer right there. I do like that type of candlestick pattern, especially at a support level. That's where it's at right now. UAL, United, they're currently in some degree of neutrality. So if it's the airlines, the big boy airlines, I prefer Delta right now. I like Exxon right now. I like Delta right now, both in great technical setups. I like the market in its technical setup. You know, you certainly, especially in the financial markets itself, you certainly have to consider, you know, the weekly chart and what we're seeing on the weekly charts in terms of kiss of death and so on and so forth. And that's basically what we're looking at right here. But at the same time, good price movement today on low volume. Let's see what that parlays to for the rest of the week. And this is Matt Justice. We are Tackle Trading, changing lives one trade at a time. Get in the game over there, tackletrading.com.
Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.